So obviously, when we were last here on Friday, the Guardians had won the first game of this 4-game set with the White Sox. They won again on Friday night, winning in extra innings in walk-off fashion. Then on Saturday, a 1-1 game gets a 3-1 loss eventually. The bullpen gave up a couple of runs. And then yesterday, they finally got the bats going, but they still lost 7-6. It was a very high-scoring game early. The White Sox scored 2 in the top of the first. The Guardians scored 3 in the bottom of the first. I think the White Sox, got 1 or 2 in the top of the second. They were up 6-3, and the Guardians made it a closer game, but they lose 7-6. Chase DeLauter hit his first home run in a while. Gabriel Arias hit a home run. Austin Hedges hit a home run on Saturday for the Guardians' only run then. No home runs on Friday. The pitching, not great this weekend. Gavin Williams has been a struggle of late, and he did not pitch particularly well again on Friday. Bybee, who'd been really good lately, pitched terribly yesterday. Messick was solid on Saturday, but I think he only went 5 innings. Bullpen was a mixed bag over the weekend. What's your thoughts here, guys, on the Guardians in the end splitting 4 with the White Sox?
I came out of this series saying that you're gonna have to start showing the White Sox some love. Like, you're gonna have to start. We can all imagine they're gonna fade, but I was impressed with how scrappy they was. They had lost the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Then they touched up Gavin Williams a little bit. He hung a breaking pitch, and right before the rain delay, all I kept thinking about is, dang, we done lost this game because he done hung a curveball, and now they're going to win this game after the rain delay. But the White Sox is scrappy. They find power throughout the lineup. They do just enough to get it done. They don't give up. And at this point, I thought it showed a lot for them to come back, and where they could have been put in a really crazy situation if you lose 3 out of the 4 or you get swept. And I think them coming back to win the last two games of this series, Jason, proves that they might not run away from you, but they're going to be in it the entire time.
They could be in it the entire time. That's fine. The big thing I took away was exactly what Bull and I have been telling you since Jose Ramirez got hurt is it's okay. No one's going to run away with this division. And so to get a split out of the weekend, perfectly fine. Do you want 3 or 4 after you take the first 2? Of course you do. But the White Sox are fighting for their lives too. So, just keep treading water, guys. Keep treading water. Jose started swinging a bat recently. He'll be back probably shortly after the All-Star break, maybe the first game after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, he seems, whenever the few times he's been hurt, he seems to heal quickly.
Yeah, so I think we're now sooner than later for his return, and they did exactly what we said they needed to do, and just hang around and tread water, because nobody's going to run and hide with this division. And now we've got a month to go to the trade deadline. They can get Jose back, get Angel Martinez back at some point here, hopefully soon. Figure out what you still need, maybe pitching, it may be an arm that you need, which it's so much more expensive to find that on the trade market. But they're going to be fine. Everything's fine in terms of the division race. I had no issue with the split. Like, once you took the first 2, you knew where you were going to be at the end of the weekend, that you weren't going to be buried in the division. So just keep trading until you get your guys back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're treading water at best offensively.
Yeah.
I think it's disappointing that when you had your best 3 starters go over the last 3 days, they combined to pitch 14 innings.
That's true. That's very
you got to
fair.
get more than that for your top 3 starters.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't, in one trip around the rotation, not the end of the world, but that can't be the norm here.
Right.
I can't average 4 and change innings from my top 3 starters. I don't know, unless you're a diehard baseball fan, I don't think people realize just how bad this division is. I mean, this is one of the worst divisions I've ever seen in the history of baseball, because the Guardians, as currently constituted, are an above-average baseball team. Now, the good news is there's not that many good teams in the American League, but the Guardians are an above-average baseball team. The White Sox are, at best, an average baseball team that has been scrappy and is playing a little over their head, in my opinion. Minnesota's a bad team that is playing better than I thought. They're
Never
borderline.
thought they'd be around 500. This
Right,
year.
they're borderline mediocre. Detroit has talent to be an above-average team, maybe even a little better. I'm not convinced a little better at this point, especially because a lot of their young hitters are just not developing the way you thought. And they've been terrible, and Kansas City's a total disaster. I'm not sure if you put together an all-star team of these 5 teams that they're better than the Dodgers.
That's funny. And
I mean, I'd have to
Could
think
we-
about it.
Could we do it real quick?
You're probably correct. On that.
Okay, just put
Pull
the
the
standings.
standings back up,
Put the standings back up just so I see the teams in front of me.
The locks would be Jose.
Well,
I'll
let's
go
start
by
with the
position.
pitchers.
Skubal?
So let's start with the pitchers. So you'd have Skubal.
Skubal.
You'd have Michael Wacha, who's having a great season for Kansas City. You'd have Joe Ryan, even though he's
We're
hurt
just
right
going
now.
on this year.
Yeah,
Or
this
career?
year. No, this year.
Actually, you might be tripping. You might be tripping on that.
Yeah?
Yeah, just the
You
3 or 4 pitchers.
You want to look at the lineup?
Yeah, keep going. Like just on the pitchers alone.
Okay. Skubal, Wacha, Joe Ryan.
Valdez.
I mean,
Valdez having a terrible year.
he's having a terrible. If we're just doing this
That's
year,
why it's like
The
Cole Reagans,
Messick.
but he's hurt now,
Yeah.
and he didn't have a
right?
good
He's
year
hurt. He's
anyway.
out for the year.
Right.
Messick would probably be.
So
on
you
that.
want to just go this year? It's Wacha, Skubal, Messick.
Mm-hmm.
Joe
I mean,
Ryan,
Joe Ryan's a little banged up too right
Yeah,
now.
but
But okay,
he's
Joe
on there.
Ryan, and then
Fromber. I guess Fromber would make.
Or
probably.
who's the
Or
guy,
Gavin,
the one
Gavin,
best pitcher on the White
Davis
Sox?
Martin. No.
Davis Martin, yeah.
Gavin. You can throw Gavin on there. I guess.
Whatever. So that's a good rotation. It's not amazing.
First base would be Murakami. I mean, he's hurt, but that's still my pick. Would be Murakami.
He's been out for like a month.
It's still
He
my
still
pick.
has more home
You-
runs than
okay,
everyone
You
else.
got Witt.
Second base is Bazana.
I guess it's Bazana.
You still got
Shortstop is Witt.
I'm still
Shortstop's
playing.
Witt.
Third base is Jose.
Okay. Keep going.
Left the
Dingler,
outfield.
Dingler, your catcher.
What's that?
Dingler, your catcher.
Yeah. Dylan Dingler would be the catcher.
For this year, yeah. I mean, Salvador Perez is showing
He's
signs
shot.
of age.
He's shot.
Okay.
In the outfield,
Who playing center field?
Can McGonigal play center field? Can we move him around?
can who play center field?
Kevin McGonigal.
No,
I
he's
think
not
that's
out.
cheating.
That's cheating.
I mean, Buxton.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Buxton.
Buxton in center. It's slim pickings after that.
I mean, who I'm trying to think.
Riley Green.
Look, he's not having a good year.
I'm just trying to name
He's
guys
got
who
an
are decent.
850 OPS.
Who does? Riley Green?
Riley Green, yeah.
All right. Maybe I'm underrated. Okay, so Riley Green. Does Kansas City have any outfielders doing well? I can't.
Caglione.
I guess.
Caglione's OPS 785.
What's
What's DeLauter?
Not that.
no.
I mean, Buxton, Caglione, and who would we say?
Riley Green.
Oh, Riley Green.
Riley Green.
And then your DH would be
Maybe DeLauter.
No, there's somebody better than that.
You know who's
Pasquantino.
He's
been
having a
hurt.
terrible season.
sneakily having a good year is Josh Bell in Minnesota.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like there's somebody else on Minnesota I'm forgetting. Is it
Brooks Lee's
having a really good year?
He's like hitting like 240,
Brooks Lee
14
has a
homers.
740 OPS.
All right.
I guess it's close.
What's Josh Bell's OPS?
737.
Oh,
What about
Cody Clemens, though, as
what
a,
about-
as an
he
8.
is having a good year. Cody
what
Clemens,
about
I forgot about him.
Montgomery on the White Sox?
Yeah, Colson. He's got a lot
Colson
of home runs.
Montgomery.
Colson Montgomery. His OPS is 801. Miguel Vargas, 857.
Yeah,
He's having
Vargas
a
is
Honestly,
having a great year.
Var-
I forgot
Vargas
about
is,
Vargas.
if we're going off this year,
Yeah.
Jose ain't making this team. Vargas is having a better season than Jose.
Yeah. Well, we got to have some reasonable takes.
I mean, I'm just saying
Yeah,
he's been
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Vargas is 20 homers, 56 ribbies.
that's true. It's an
Oh.
all-star team for this year.
And an OPS 100
How
points
many
higher
home runs
than
does
Jose.
Vargas have?
20?
20 and Montgomery is 23, by the way.
What's his career high in home runs, Vargas?
Vargas
Is 20 his
He might
already
have
his
already
career
said it.
high?
He might
for
have
his
already
career.
said it.
Yes, it is. 16 last year was his career
He
high.
got 20
He
already.
must be juicing this year or something.
I don't know. Dang.
That's crazy.
Reckless.
And
speculation.
Montgomery has to be on here too.
'Cause
He's
he's
at 23 homers.
23 home runs.
So
Yeah.
compare that to the Dodgers lineup. I'd probably take the Dodgers.
I'd take the Dodgers lineup.
You want the
Actually,
Dodgers lineup real quick? Just OPSs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Will Smith is their catcher.
Shohei has OPS in 930.
Yeah.
Freeman 885. Muncy 861. Dalton Rushing, their catcher, 830.
No, that catcher is Will Smith's their starting catcher. He's been hurt.
Well, I guess they both played. Rushing's played 56 games. Will Smith's played 52.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's been hurt twice, but
Yeah.
otherwise he'd be playing almost every day.
And then
Either way, Rushing's
either way,
played 56 games. Is at 830 OPS.
it's better than we got.
Andy Pajes,
It's been
803.
yeah.
Teoscar Hernandez, 750. Miguel Rojas, 771. Mookie Betts and Kyle Tucker are 10th and 11th in their OPS.
Isn't that funny?
That's
Tucker's
wild.
been terrible.
At
That's
733.
Since the All-Star
and
break of last year with the
736.
Cubs, he's been horrendous. That's looking like a bad signing. I would
Yeah.
definitely take that lineup.
Yeah, you're right.
You
Yeah.
know, who's the closer for the? I guess it would be Cade Smith.
Cade.
He's an all-star. It's definitely Cade Smith.
I don't even. The other teams' closers all suck.
I mean, Louis Varland's having a great year. Brian Baker's
No, he's
having
not
a
on the
great year.
Twins. He's on the Blue Jays. Louis Varland.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we're only doing Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kenley Jansen.
Yeah. I mean, with the Dodgers have right now Tanner Scott, who's been really good this year after having one bad year last year, and they got Edwin Diaz, who's coming back from injury.
yeah, the Dodgers or the AL Central.
I mean,
Who do you take?
I would take the Dodgers probably, and if their pitching was healthy, their pitching's just as good. I'm
Should I
telling
make this
you.
a Twitter poll? Because we're not on YouTube. I can make it a
I
Twitter
guess,
poll.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll take the Dodgers.
yeah. That's just so sad.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
So, Bo, to
Yeah.
put a wrap on this, and then we'll take a break. We'll come back, talk a little Browns. Are you disappointed at how this series ended?
I was disappointed. I mean, it's not. Again, I agree with Jason. He said it. We've both been saying it. Like, they're just in a good spot because the division's so bad. Like, I know Jay was convinced the Tigers are going to make a run. They haven't made a run. They're still 7.5
Yeah,
out.
they shaved, I think, a game and a half, 2 games off, but that's
I mean, they're
it.
still 10 games under 500.
Yeah.
The Guardians are in a lucky position, but if they want to be a serious team in the playoffs, they've got to make additions to the roster. And it can't just be, well, we're adding these injured guys. Well, so are other teams adding injured guys. And other teams are adding a lot more injured guys than the Guardians. So you're going to get Angel and Jose probably back, I would think, right after the All-Star break or soon after the All-Star break. But you got to add more. If they just stand pat, yeah, I think they'll probably win the division even if they stand pat. But then they'll lose in either the first or second round of the playoffs if they don't make any significant moves, most likely. Especially because I'm not very comfortable. I'm not confident in their pitching right now. I'm just not. And I know you say, well, you're not confident in the hitting either. I'm actually, if the hitting, if everybody was fully healthy, I'd actually be a lot more confident. Not a lot more, but I'd be more confident in the lineup than I would be in the starting rotation, which sounds crazy, and I'm not that high on either. I think they need upgrades in both spots.
I think their pitching for the regular season is fine. I think their pitching when you match up for a postseason series is very susceptible.
Yes, agreed.
So it'll get you through 162 just fine. But when you've got to line up Gavin Williams, Parker Messick, and Tanner Bybee as your 1, 2, 3, how do you feel against the Yankees with that rotation?
I don't feel
Not
good
great.
about it.
Not great.
No.
The Rays don't feel great with that.
And when they
rotation.
get hit, it just seems like when Bybee and Williams get hit, they get hit hard. It don't be like doubles. It'd be like 3-run home run, solo shot. You'd be like, dang, they hit you hard, man.
They need to add a good pitcher and a good hitter. I think they need both. I don't have confidence they'll do either, let alone both.
I think they'll be active. I think they're good. I think they'll do something.
All right. I hope you're right.
Something of significance.
Okay.
Something more than Lane Thomas.
That would be great. That'd be great. Lane Thomas finally gotten hot the last couple of weeks.